have chosen to break with the past, to make real the immense hopes raised by our vision of society. I hope that this vision of society will bring about their aspirations. I pledge to govern with humility and transparency, and to fight corruption at all levels.
Hello and welcome to Marketplace Ecclesia. My name is George Mukamba, and this is Africa Reformation Series. In this episode, we are looking at the new Senegal leadership of Ousemane Sonko and Bassirou Faye. Here at Marketplace Ecclesia, we are building a community of people within the 12 spheres of the marketplace, participating in God's kingdom purpose alignment. We are in the decade of transformation and purpose alignment. And in times like this, you need to be part of a family and a community aligned with God's kingdom purpose. There is an alignment taking place in nations and all around, in the civic, in the church, and in the corporate. And depending on our participation, we are going to witness a great kingdom purpose alignment in nations as God's kingdom takes center stage. People begin to understand more about what it really means to be in the kingdom. And you really need to be part of this. I want the Marketplace Ecclesia community to stay informed, inspired, and impact driven. This is my overarching goal. You need to be inspired about the future as you live your purpose wherever you are in the marketplace. So, in our Africa Reformation series, this is our first episode. And as we are going to do from now on, is to be sharing with you the African stories, African topics about what's happening in the social economic sphere. The whole idea is that we need to share ideas, we need to educate each other as the generation that is assuming leadership of Africa. And if we are not united, if we are not together as part of the building or the reformation generation, um, our efforts will be fragmented and really we will not achieve much. But I hope and I trust that no, the upcoming or this generation is more awake. This more generation is more purposeful. This generation wants to see a better Africa that can be counted among its other continents as a continent that is ensuring the socio-economic well-being of its citizens and a continent where we are not begging, but we are equally competitive among its other global powers. So what we saw right there in the is the new Senegalese president Bassirou Faye, who won the recently held elections. Senegal presidential elections were held on the 24th of March 2024, and his party, PASTEF, which stands for Africa Patriots of Senegal for Work Ethic and Fraternity, they won by 54.28%. And the election took place in the midst of several socio-economic issues affecting Senegal, such as high unemployment among the youth, increases in the cost of living, and questions over the management of domestic oil and gas production, which is expected to begin this year. So Faye was inaugurated as the fifth president of Senegal on the 2nd of April 2024. A lot is being talked about Faye, and I just need us to understand that the spotlight should not be on Faye alone, but rather on the two, Ousemane Sonko and Bassirou Faye. Many people are talking about Faye, as the little known politician who shot to be Senegalese number one. However, this might not have happened without Sonko, who I'm going to be calling the playmaker, the political strategist, and the charismatic leader, who we have a lot to learn from, as we go into the future. Um, Sonko 49 was at the center of a 2 year standoff with the state and this triggered bouts of deadly unrest. Popular among Senegal's youth, he was disqualified from running in the March 2024 presidential race due to defamation conviction, and went to pick Faye as his replacement on the presidential ballot. He denied any wrongdoing, and his supporters attributed this to a political smear campaign. So they campaigned jointly under the slogan Diomaye is Sonko. Sonko supporters and Sonko urged his supporters to vote for his top lieutenant, Faye, who ultimately won with more than 54% of the vote. So you can see that Sonko here is not just an ordinary guy, but he is the man who scripted the political blueprint which saw Bassirou Faye being appointed president. And there's a lot that we can learn from this in this period of Africa reformation and at times in which a new revolution is underway. It is the current generation to be torchbearers of building a new Africa which is not the source of raw materials for the world only, but an industrial and economic giant in which we seek to ensure the social economic well-being of every citizen. We have the resources, we have the people, we have the youth. All we lack is coordination. We lack technological and innovation strategies that brings a shift from where we are to that Africa which stands toe to toe with other global powers. But we are getting there. I just have a feeling, and I'm persuaded that this is the generation that is going to do this. So going back to Senegal, Sonko and Faye's journey all the way to elections had many challenges. At some point, Sonko was barred from running due to a defamation conviction, um, and his supporters, however, saw this as politically motivated. And since 2021, Sonko got arrested a number of times for various offenses, and including disturbing public order, rape, threatening a woman with death. After 2 years of investigations, however, the rape charges were found to be false. He was still sentenced to 2 years in prison on charges the state defined as corrupting youth. Faye also endured 11 months of incarceration alongside Ousemane Sonko before being released on March 14 under an amnesty law initiated by President Macky Sall. And then Faye went on to appoint Ousemane Sonko as the prime minister. Let's watch the clip here.
Now, after a dramatic journey from prison to palace, Senegal's Bassirou Faye has made his first move as the president, appointing Ousemane Sonko as his prime minister. Now, Sonko is a long-time mentor of Faye. In many ways, Sonko was the window to mainstream politics for Faye. Faye rose to power due to Sonko's backing. Both were behind bars till just 10 days before election.
So, you see, this was a strategic move because in Senegal, the president is ceremonial and the prime minister is the executive. So, Sonko is the man who seemed to have scripted the political blueprint which saw these guys being in leadership together. And there is a lot we can learn from this.
What can we learn, and what are the lessons in this age of Africa reformation? Number one, patriotic political change cannot be outsourced to one person. Normally, the leader of the opposition is who people look forward to perform miracles. This is not proper. It is the responsibility of every citizen. You see what happened in Senegal. The youth participated in protests and stood against unlawful and unconstitutional practices which tried to prevent participation of PASTEF and other opposition. Number two, patriotic political change needs generations' consensus. There should be unity and coordination among both the youth and the elders. from the baby boomers to the Gen Z, each should be playing their part, whether it be advocacy, lobbying, and fighting against two tiers of justice systems. In Senegal, there were coalitions aimed at protecting the vote, like Protect Our Election Collective, which united people on a common cause, that is to bring in new political leadership. The power is always with the people, no matter how tyrannical and repressive the politicians in power are. What lacks among citizens is unity and coordination. Lesson number 3. Politicians in office should not weaponize institutions, mostly the legal or judicial system. This is a very important institution which guarantees legitimacy and brings confidence to every citizen that there is always due process and recourse in case of any disputes, conflicts, or unfairness. So Africa has been in the habit of weaponizing and capturing institutions, and this is the fastest way to destroy constitutional governance, what we like calling democracy. Institutions are the only foundations that preserves a nation against any form of bad governance and leadership. Lesson number 4. Dialogue and debate are essential, and both sides should be open to dialogue and debate without taking offense or victimization of the weaker one. We need to restore diplomacy, debate, and dialogue. And number 5, we are in an age of passing on the baton to the young generation. It is expected that retiring politicians should graduate into elder statesmen. The young generation should transitionally set in through guidance in culture and responsible leadership. And elders need to leave a legacy, and how they intend to exit judges their leadership and legacy. So, passing on the baton, it sounds noble, right? Yes, but the truth is no one seems to be ready to just pass on the baton. This is a big problem in Africa. And what should we do about this? Well, Ambassador Joe Keshi had a few words of advice. Let's listen to him.
When you look at what happened in Senegal, I remember a couple of years ago when the current president of France was elected. I think it was 30-something, am I right? 39.
Yeah, I think so.
It was 39. All over this country. Oh, look, you must give the youths a chance. You must do this. Look, for goodness sake, I've always told youths, nobody gives anybody a chance. And this guy in Senegal has proven that nobody gives anybody a chance. You have to fight for it.
So there you have it, folks. Passing on the baton by elder politicians is still a big challenge in African politics. But the youth should not give up. They should use all means of civil engagement and lawful protest. Again, I suggest dialogue, debate, and diplomacy. So the ball is in our court. During this age of Africa reformation, we need to bring in the patriotic transformation which Africa needs in this time. We have a responsibility and play your part. So that's what we had for you in this episode. We look forward to an inspiring, informed, and impact-driven Africa. Coordination, connection, and collaboration with those of a kindred spirit is key in our times. Feel free to join us here at Marketplace Ecclesia and be part of an informed, inspired, and impact-driven community. Please subscribe to the Marketplace Ecclesia channel and be part of this great family. And always remember, you are relevant, you are significant, and you are valuable. And that's what we had for you for now. And till we meet again. Bye.